saya Dato' Najah binti Zulkafli from BA2623D.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Husna Humaira binti Azmi and I am from class BA2623D.
Saya Nasyid Mandari binti Muhammad Nasir.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Nazmi bin Abdul Wahab and I am from the class BA2623D.
My name is Muhammad Muiz bin Mansur from BA2623D. Before we begin, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our lecturer Dr. Noriza Muhammad Mazi for her guidance, support and encouragement throughout this project. Her teaching not only helped us understand the technical aspect of database system, but also motivated us to apply them meaningfully in a real-world context. We also want to thank Unit Sukan UiTM Selangor for serving as the basis of our project even without a direct consultation. Their online portal gave us great insight into their operation. This helped us visualize how a focused internal system could improve their equipment borrowing process. Most importantly, this project was made possible throughout teamwork. Every member gave their best and together we designed, developed and documented a full Microsoft Access system that reflects both our creativity and our technical learning.
The sports unit at UiTM Selangor plays a vital role in student life, organising tournaments, providing access to sport facilities and supporting recreational activities. While UiTM does have a digital portal for booking and general information, it does not seem to have a dedicated internal system for managing equipment borrowing at the unit level. Currently, some borrowing processes are still handled manually or through basic online forms, which are not always reliable or structured. This inspired us to create a prototype database system using Microsoft Access, specifically to manage and monitor the borrowing and returning of sports equipment by students. Our objective was not replace the existing UiTM portal, but rather to develop an offline accessible system focused on accurate tracking, better data validation, and ease of reporting. All designed with real-world usability in mind. It's a small-scale tool but built to solve real problems.
So let's talk about the identifications of problem. Before we design our system, we look at how equipment borrowing is currently handled, especially at a smaller internal level that UiTM's official portal doesn't fully support. The portal handles bookings and schedules well, but there's no real-time tool for managing the actual landing of sport equipment. That's where we saw a clear opportunity to improve. We noticed 4 key issues. First is input validation. In manual system, fields like metric number or equipment type can be typed freely. This leads to spelling error, inconsistent entries, and missing data. Our system uses a drop-downs and input mask to make sure all entries are clean, consistent, and easy to filter or analyze. Second, there is no real-time visibility. Staff can quickly see who borrowed what or whether it's been returned. Our dashboard solved this by showing live borrowing records, reducing double bookings and confusion. Third, manual return tracking wastes time and is easy to overlook. Our system calculates duration automatically and flags overdue items instantly. And finally, internet dependency. With most systems being online, any network issue can disrupt borrowing, and our system works fully offline using Access, so it runs anytime even without a Wi-Fi. These problems became the foundation of our solution, a lightweight, offline and efficient system tailored to Unit Sukan's daily needs.
To improve the equipment borrowing process at Unit Sukan UiTM Selangor, we have developed a Microsoft Access system that addresses 4 major problems, which is the inconsistent input due to lack of validation, the absence of real-time tracking, manual return monitoring, and also the dependency on internet access. Each recommendation we implemented directly responds to these issues. To begin with, we have tackled the problem of inconsistent and messy data by applying validation rules, input masks, and also combo boxes. For example, fields like college, faculty, and semester were restricted to predefined options using combo boxes. This could help prevent spelling errors and also to standardize the entries across all records. We also used input masks on phone number fields to enforce a consistent format and applied validation rules to ensure that required fields are not left blank or filled incorrectly. All of these features collectively could reduce human error, improve accuracy, and also make data easier to filter and analyze later on. Next, to solve the lack of real-time borrowing visibility, we created a set of predefined queries that instantly pull borrowing information from the database. These queries allow staff to filter and view who borrowed what, when, and how many times they borrowed the items, essentially acting like a live dashboard. This could reduces manual checking and also helps to improve productivity, especially during busy periods. We also automated return tracking by creating a calculated field using the date different function. This function automatically calculates the number of days between the rental date and return date, making it easy for staff to identify overdue items without needing to do any manual counting. All of this could improve monitoring, reduces the chance of late returns going unnoticed, and also could support better accountability. Finally, we chose Microsoft Access because it runs fully offline, solving the issue of internet dependency. Since the web-based system at UiTM require a stable connection to function, any network outage could interrupt the operations. So, our access system stores all the data locally and can be accessed at any times, ensuring that the staff can continue working without any disruptions. Now, for the database structure, we created two main tables, which is student info and also sports equipment. All of these tables are connected through a one-to-many relationship using the booking ID field. In the sports equipment table, we recorded fields such as booking ID as the primary key, equipment name, date rented, date returned, and also quantity. The booking ID fields connect this table to the student info table, which allow us to link each borrowing record to a student. We use the date time data type for rental dates and the number data type for quantity, and enabling future calculations and also reports. This table could help accurately track borrowing transaction and also could support detailed data analysis. In the student info table, we included fields such as student ID as the primary key, student name, faculty, college, semester, and also phone number. We used the short text data type for most fields to allow coded entries and added an input mask for phone numbers to maintain consistent formatting. Validation rules were also applied to prevent incomplete or any invalid entries. These tables help to track the students who borrow equipment and ensures clean and also consistent records.
Now, I will be explaining the queries, reports, and relationship diagram that we created for our Microsoft Access system. Let's start with the queries. The first query that we built is called amount rented. It uses the compound and criteria in order to filter data based on two conditions. The student must be from College Angsana and must have borrowed more than two equipments item. This query combined fields from both the student info table and the sports equipment table, including the student ID, name, faculty, college, and equipment unit. By applying the two condition, which is Angsana and the more than two condition, the query will show only the record that meet the requirement. This will help unit Sukan to identify frequent borrowers and manage equipment usage more effectively. The second query is called the booking contact. This one uses the OR criteria, which is specifically for showing students from either College Angsana or College Rafflesia. The field displayed include the student ID, college, faculty, phone number, and the booking ID, all from the student info table. This query is very useful when the staff need to contact students, for example, in the case of overdue returns or follow-up action. Next, we created a type of equipment query which combines data from both the student info and the sports equipment tables. It includes the booking ID, student name, faculty, college, and equipment unit. This query uses both OR and the AND criteria. For example, it filters the booking ID that are either 3 or greater than 5. And at the same time, it also limits the results to record the results of the records from Dahlia and Angsana College only. This is very useful for narrowing down the results based on the specific student groups and quantity of items that is borrowed. We also develop a rent duration query in order to automatically calculate how long equipments have been borrowed. This query uses the debt function in order to calculate the number of days between the debt rented and the debt returned. All of the fields are pulled from the sports equipment table, which would allow the staff to instantly see the borrowing duration for each record. A feature that not only saves time but also improves the return tracking of the sports equipment. The fifth query focuses on the semester 2 students. This is a simple filter or simple query that only shows records where the semester field equal to. This field include the student ID field. This query include the student ID field, the name field, the phone number field, and the semester field, all from the student info table. It is helpful when a staff need to analyze or follow up with a specific group of students. And finally, we created a multi-table query. The multi-table query pulls data from both main tables, including the booking ID, sports equipment, student name, faculty, phone number, semester, data rented, and data returned. There are no filters for this query. The criteria as this query is designed in order to show all the borrowing records and can be used for generating full reports on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. In conclusion, this query help unit Sukan filter out unnecessary records and quickly find the specific data that they need, whether it is for contacting students, checking usage trends, or identifying late returns.
To make the system user-friendly, especially for staff who may not be technically trained, we developed two main forms, which is the student info form and the sports equipment form. For our sport equipment form, this form allows staff to record equipment borrowing activity. We included date picker controls to simplify the process of selecting rental dates and drop-down menus for equipment. Name to speed up the input process, and to enhance the usability, we also added comment buttons like save and next record, so staff can easily submit and navigate through entries. This form is linked to the student info table via booking ID, ensuring that every transaction is correctly connected to a student. The student info form collects all necessary borrower details and uses combo box for fields like faculty, college, and also semester. This reduces the chance of inconsistent input. We also applied an input mask for the phone number to maintain a standard format. The layout and logical type order of the form allow users to enter their data quickly and also could reduce many errors. In conclusion, the recommendations, tables, and also forms that we implemented work together to solve real problems and create a reliable, offline accessible system for managing sports equipment borrowing. This system is not only accurate and functional, but also easy to use, which makes it is very ideal for a day-to-day operations at Unit Sukan UITM Puncak Alam. Thank you.
Let's move on to the reports. In Microsoft Access, reports help present information in a clean, structured, and printable format. They allow staff to organize and summarize data using headers, footers, page numbers, and formatting that improve readability. Reports can be customized for different needs and are useful for meetings, audits, or printed documentation. The first report is the amount rented report, which displays records of Angsana students from different faculties such as computer and mathematical science and applied science faculty. This report shows their student ID, name, college, debt rented, and the type of equipment that they borrowed. The data is pulled from both the student info and sports equipment tables. Since the report is filtered based on college and equipment unit, it only displays 2 data points for those who meet both conditions. The next report is the booking contact report. This one lists contact details of the students who borrowed equipment. It includes the booking ID, student ID, faculty, college, and phone number. This report was generated from the booking contact query and can help the Unit Sukan staff to contact the students directly in case of late returns or infractions. And finally, we have the multi-table report. which is based on the multi-table query. This report shows complete borrowing records, including booking ID, sports equipment, student name, and faculty. It combines both fields, and can be used to produce summaries of full reports for record keeping, whether it be weekly, monthly, or yearly records. Finally, let's talk about the relationship diagram. In Microsoft Access, relationships connect data from different tables using a common field. This makes it possible to pull different data together in queries and reports. In our system, we link the booking ID field from the student info table into the booking ID in the sports equipment table. The relationship that we use here is the one-to-many relationships, which means one student can have multiple borrowing records. We also apply the referential integrity and enable cascade updates. What this means is that any update made to the student booking ID in the main table will automatically update in the link table, which will help keep the data consistent and prevent any accidental deletion or mismatch. All of this setup ensure that the data remains reliable, structured, and fully connected.
In conclusion, this project allows us to apply everything we have learned in BTM510 into a system that solves real operational problems. Through our access prototype, we address the need for structured data, automated tracking, offline access, and user-friendly design, all tailored to how unit Sukan operates on a daily basis. Every feature in the system was created with a purpose, from the drop-downs in the form to the dead diff calculation in the queries. This wasn't just about completing an assignment, it was about understanding what makes system work well in the real world. We also learned how important teamwork and planning are in system development. Everyone in our group contributed to building something functional, practical, and relevant. This project has deepened our appreciation for how digital tools, even simple ones like Microsoft Access,
This is our references list, and thank you so much for watching.